Yo, what is going on, gamers, and welcome back to the channel. Hey, in this video, we're going to be talking about Apex Legends and the new season, Season 5, that just recently dropped. This season brought a number of great changes, and the roster of champions continues to grow, giving you lots of options for finding the way to play Apex that you really jive with. Now, before we dive into the discussion about this season, here's a quick word about the sponsor of the video, Raid Shadow Legends. Listen, I know y'all have heard of Raid, and you're probably all aboard the meme train, but I gotta level with you. This game is fun, and even some of the people from previous Raid plugs have owned up to the fact that this game is legitimately good. It's free to play, and it's one of the most played mobile games in the history of mobile games for a reason. It's available for both PC and mobile devices. Check the links in the description to get started. Raid has 16 different factions, including some of the most iconic fantasy world races like dwarves and orcs, undead, and elves of varying kinds, and more. My favorite faction, personally, by a landslide, is the Sacred Order. They're basically the band of knights tasked with purging evil. Their art style blows me away, and I can't help but find out how to best use each Sacred Order champion I collect, whether it be in dungeons or quest farming or faction wars or PvP. I check the player reviews, find out what armor types I should be equipping them with in order to use them to their full potential. And Sir Nicholas and Juliana are staples in my team now. Sir Nick is one of the best champions in the game for supporting the team, healing and shielding them, while also being capable of some insane DPS. Juliana is an absolute beast at doing damage over time with her Fire of Purgation, which removes a buff from the opponent while also putting some serious burn dots on them. The game always has tournaments going on where you can pit yourself against other players in the community, whether it's by competing in the arena against players directly or seeing which one of you can drop the dragon the most times and collect the most loot from him. So go ahead, dive into Raid using the links in the description. If you use those links and you're new to the game, guess what? You're going to get 200,000 silver and a free champion called Grinner. Here he is, check him out. You'll find these rewards waiting for you here in your inbox in the upper right, and maybe you and I will cross swords in-game one day. Alright, back to Apex. First off, this video contains both PC and PS4 gameplay, and I am definitely an unapologetic Caustic main. And a lot of people meme Caustic. They think he's more like a camping character, like camp in your building, put up traps. That's not really the way that I play Caustic, and a lot of the really good Caustics out there don't play him that way. I love pushing buildings and POIs as Caustic and smoking people out. If you're wondering if Season 5 is worth your time, by the way, let me remind you that Apex Legends is free to play. I mean, you literally have nothing to lose just firing it up and checking it out. You won't have access to all the champions unless you either pay to unlock them or play enough to get enough in-game currency to unlock them manually. But for free, you'll have access to several different champions that are plenty relevant in the current sandbox. You won't be at a loss not having access to some of the characters. Season 5 brings some changes to the original map, Kings Canyon. Skulltown, one of my personal favorite drop locations, is a thing of the past, as it has now sank into the ocean along with Thunderdome. There's a massive hole and a new smaller POI in its place just outside of Market now. The labs area has continued to evolve as well, and there are a number of decent smaller places of interest scattered about the map now, in contrast to the original design of Kings Canyon. If you're playing the standard trios and duos playlist, you'll be hopping back and forth during your play session from Kings Canyon and the newer map, World's Edge, to keep your experience fresh. Something old, something new, so on and so forth. The next major change this season is the arrival of a new champion named Lobha. She's the first sort of femme fatale champion to grace the roster in Apex. She gives off major, like, spy movie love interest vibes as a sort of moral gray woman who's independent and strong and can handle herself in a fight. Her whole identity is wrapped up in her being a renowned thief, and all her abilities play to that role. Her passive ability lets her see items of purple and gold rarity through walls, so she knows which buildings and which canisters to run to first. It's really strong early game when you're trying to get your initial kit together, or if you're looking for hop-ups and things like that. She also has a jump drive bracelet that she can toss onto buildings, into buildings, behind cover, and teleport to it on command. And her ultimate ability is a black market that she sets up and lets you pull items from any death box or canister or on the ground straight to your market without having to go running around and sifting through everything in the area. She's certainly an interesting and versatile champion to play, and certainly interesting to play against as well, and definitely a welcomed addition to the already impressive roster of champions. Another fun addition to Apex this season is a series of Pve quests that you have to do at the bidding of Lobha. She's sending you on a series of missions to help her with her mysterious goals and settle her scores. I won't spoil any of that for you if you're looking to dive into it, but know that it's a nice distraction to keep yourself busy. Another great feature in Apex is the reconnect feature. If your game crashes or you lose connection momentarily, you can relaunch the game and load right back into your match, assuming you haven't, like died outside the zone yet or anything. But your teammates can always toss some heals at your feet and move forward, and usually you get back in quickly enough to pick up where you left off, no problem. If you're a console gamer, disconnects do happen a little more frequently, I've noticed. Maybe once every 2 or so hours of gameplay, from my experience. Although the most recent update, I think, may have helped alleviate some of that. And next up, we have the Battle Pass. If you want to drop some cash on the Battle Pass and invest in the season, then there are a number of unlocks for you, including crafting medals, so you can manually unlock things for the characters you play instead of just crossing your fingers with loot boxes. And if you're not sure about the Battle Pass, you can always just play for a bit and see if this season is for you. All your experience will backtrack, so you can grab the Battle Pass and jump forward to whatever level you would have been if you'd picked it up right off the rip. So there's really nothing lost by waiting it out a bit. All of that said, I personally have really enjoyed getting back into Apex this season after having taken the last few seasons off. It's been a great change of pace for me to log on with the guys and snag some wins and some laughs. And perhaps the best feature of Apex is the speed of the game. You barely spend any time in the lobby. Matchmaking is fast, fast, fast. Load times are fast, fast, fast. Your boots are on the ground really fast. And you're constantly engaged with the game, and I absolutely love that. Another maybe more approachable feature for some of the people coming back to Apex or are new to Apex, it's all skill-based matchmaking. So if you are just new to the game or you're just coming back after a long break, don't sweat it. You're not going to be thrust into these lobbies where you have to play, level 300 players. You're probably going to see people who are relatively new to the game too, casual players. And if you get really into the game, you start to get a good groove for it, it's going to just progressively move you into a different sort of skill bracket as you matchmake. And the good thing about it is skill-based matchmaking works a lot better when your population is enormous. And this game's population is enormous. So there's not a lot of outliers in the lobby that don't really match the criteria and shouldn't be matching with you. It does a really good job of keeping it pretty fair and balanced because it has such a huge player pool to pull from to make sure that your lobby is pretty close to your skill level. So maybe that'll encourage you to dive into Season 5. Well, I hope that you have enjoyed my hot take and a quick synopsis of what this season has to offer. And hopefully you enjoyed the gameplay as well. And I think I've got a couple more plays here. I might just let it roll out a little bit so you can see a couple of nice little team wipes and whatnot. Thanks for watching. I appreciate y'all. And I look forward to catching you out there on the battlefield. Bye-bye.
Let's go, TV! Get out, just get out. And heal. Oh, what? I got you. Dude, that was insane. You got quiet for a second. That was
Dude, I was so
awesome.
focused, bro. I was so focused. So many people, man. I've got 10 kills, Jay.
What? I have no heal. I'm gonna die here. Yeah, but he just flew at me. You're the best in the game.
said there's a team over here. Blue, he only has blue, he only has blue.
I broke his armor over there.
I got your help, I got your help, I got your help.
Plus, that's really bad. There you go.